blessed ones of the nations of the world. This is your brother Dan Moses Osei Osakodi of TRC, Ghana, coming your way with the continuation of our expose that we understand what exactly is happening to humanity and the nations of the world. With expose testimony, the world disorder from the land of my exile, America, where the U.S. government, supported by the government of Nana Addo Akufo against national and international law, murdering me in secrecy to cover up heinous crimes, the killing of innocent Ghanaians, crimes against Ghana, humanity, and the nations of the world. From the land of America, where I've been barbarously murdered in the 21st century against national and international law, I want to welcome you to the program Testimony New World Disorder by saying to you, Akwaba, Ale, Sahale, Shagitam, welcome. You are welcome. Kuso, Diwo, to San Yusenyo, Okukulaba, Mauya, Mingalaba, Poye, Malamu, Karibu, Ekabo, no, o, Sanu, Dezua, Enkwandehena, Mitash, Duburo, Pejalovat, Bine I Vinit, Barigalos, Vita, Iche, Ayubon, Dobridoya, Velkommen, Estan, Hozot, Walang Anuman, bienvenido, namaste, Soagetan, Kush Amadid, Baruch, Haba Marhaba, Wangong Hamida, Wanging, Nyejeko, Anyamime, Nyejeko, We Zolo, Novio, Mia Wezo, Akwaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder, a program through which we get to know what is happening to Ghana, America, humanity, and the nations of the world. In these times of global deception, delusion, and lies that are willfully made up by some of the very people that we trust to be there for humanity and the nations of the world, and yet have chosen to be the very people that are dealing with us by willful lie, deception, and delusion, having brought our world into this current total helplessness. Blessed ones of the nation, Akwaba to the program Testimony, New World Disorder, and to the expose that is leading us to understand what is happening to humanity under the cover of coronavirus. And we have been told to, and we have exposed to, for us to understand that it is no longer an issue of nation wreckers going after peace, stable, and states of the nations of the world, killing innocent people, looting the land for their natural resources, destroying human bodies, killing the innocent. The warlike have stepped up their global agenda of the destruction of human life to a higher level of this time coming after your soul, my soul, the souls of humanity, of the nations of the world. That is their ulterior agenda, what the Bible calls the Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation, which the Bible has talked about, that is going to be visited upon humanity and the nations of the world. That is what wicked minds in America, their cronies in Ghana, Nana Addo Akufo and his diabolical cronies, with their global counterparts, the Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation, is now what they are pursuing against humanity and the nations of the world. The coronavirus and global helplessness is just an iota of it. And we need to understand, that is what we need to understand, that we prepare for what is ahead. We prepare our soul for the Lord. You prepare your soul for your God. If you believe that the God which you are worshiping and which you serve, which created you, is the one that can preserve your soul, then I commend you to your God. But to me, Christ Jesus, my Lord, is the preserver of my soul, and is the preserver, is the man that laid down his life for humanity and the nations of the world. And I want to commend him to you without any violence, weaponry, or yes, I want to commend him to you, just as you are at liberty to commend your God and your worship to me without any weaponry and without any violence. So, humanity and the nations of the world. Akwa to the program testimony. The word is that we have noticed quickly that we don't have the rod of Moses, which I always hold in my hand. I want to explain to us, even as we are back. You have seen the announcement as to how the company that I'm working for in Gettysburg, Maryland, and the 7-Eleven terror cell and the Trump administration, the administration of Nana Akufo Addo, have willfully engaged in medical terrorism to get false positive coronavirus reports against me, to quarantine me in America from ever going to Ghana, my nation. So they impose the US undercover agent. They inject me with the fiasco coronavirus, what vaccine or whatever. I'm okay now. So they impose the US undercover agent on me. Humanity and the nations of the world. You saw the announcement that their agenda of making false coronavirus report against me totally failed. And today I had to be at the White House. Don't forget, we are in Ghana. We need to get this understanding as to why there was a short break so that at our next expose, we go back to Ghana and then we start getting a deeper understanding as to what is happening. Yeah, so the reason why you are not seeing the rod in my hand, little did I know that the president of US is so much in fear of the rod of Moses, the rod of pain, which the US government in the year 2014 gave me as a result of willful plot by the FBI, the terror network of Nana Addo to hit me with a car and kill me on the spot. I became paralyzed for 2 years. That was when I started using the walker. The original of that cane is in the land of Ghana. The replica is what we have been using for this expose. When I was in Ghana, we saw the original. So it is now in Ghana. The replica, which Trump has been living in fear today as I speak, by the orchestration of the FBI, the Metro Transit, they have orchestrated and have stolen the replica. But we want to announce to Trump and his administration that the rod of Moses, which was given to him by the king to go die in the wilderness, that rod of Moses became the rod of God. So Trump and your administration, this is what you feared. This is what your fathers held onto, believed in, and you have rejected. And by wickedness with your global counterpart, are willfully tearing down your own nation, wrecking your nation due to hatred for the African and the God whom the African serves. So, though you have stolen Joseph's coat, the rod of Moses, the rod of pain has been stolen, the rod of God is here to contend on the behalf of humanity and on behalf of Africa. So humanity and the nations of the world, the original of the rod is in the land of Africa, Ghana. Trump, this is for your information. Humanity and the nations of the world. Today I had to be at the White House since March of 2020 when Trump and his administration, the administration of Nana Akufo-Addo, in cahoot with the World Health Organization boss, Global Clicks, triggered global panic under coronavirus in the month of March and locked down the whole world as a result of huge exposés that were coming at the White House, which they could not contain. They had to lock down the whole world. And today, since March, I have never been to the White House while I was being terrorized, persecuted, assaulted to the point of bleeding. I have not been to the White House until the 7th of October 2020, when God, on the behalf of God, I had to be at the White House on behalf of humanity and the nations of the world, on behalf of the American people. I had to be at the White House to explain to the American people the COVID-17, not 19, COVID-17, which Trump claimed which infection he has contracted. I have to go explain to America. America, it is not COVID-19. Trump is suffering from COVID-17 because he has there is nothing like COVID-19 that Trump is suffering from. That COVID-17 was inflicted on him by this U.S. undercover agent who troubles humanity and the nations of the world. America, humanity and the nations of the world. Let me explain to us what I had to explain to the American people today at the White House. I hold in my hands COVID-19 test results, which the Trump administration, the Addo administration, the man at the World Health Organization, Gabriel Jesus, Germantown police, the FBI, the 7-Eleven terrorists, and using the current company which I am working for to falsely seek to establish coronavirus positive results against me. They decided to establish the coronavirus positive result against me on the 25th of September. Now, let me explain to us that we understand what Trump is doing to the American people, humanity, under the cover of coronavirus, which he claimed to have contracted. About a week to September 25th, these states that I've mentioned decided that they should use the company which I'm working for in Gettysburg, Maryland, owned by an African and a wife, to make up false coronavirus reports against me to prevent me from travel from the land of America to my land of Ghana, which continent Africa welcomes all of the human race. About a week to the attack on me by the owner of the company and the wife, plotted by the FBI, Montgomery County Police, called Gabriel Jesus, the 7-Eleven terrorist. They had orchestrated and had brought an agent for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's terror network to come openly campaign for COVID-19 to advance the cause of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to continue to rob international travelers that are coming to Ghana on the under the cover of coronavirus test. They should demand $150 from every traveler to Ghana. Rape of humanity and the nations of the world. The woman was sent to the company for that shameful propaganda on the behalf of his crime counterpart, the Akufo government. she had to go to the extent of verbally abusing me on the job openly. I had to tell her plainly that no matter what she does, I don't believe in the evil that they are doing to the world. I don't believe it. And she cannot change what I know. That same week, when the woman left, the owner of the store and the wife had to bring their counterpart to the store, start posting. They had to turn the store totally into coronavirus campaign center for Trump administration. As part of the agenda, they had to bring an individual whom they were going to use for agenda to get the coronavirus positive result made up against me. They brought an individual. There are three of us that work in the three workers in the company. They had to hire an individual just for 1 week for that individual to come work with no other but specifically with me. And the plot is that just after a period of 1 week, they ask the individual to go for coronavirus test and declare the individual coronavirus positive. And for that reason, according to their plan, the FBI, Gabriel Jesus, Addo Akufo, Addo, and crime network, they had to let the two other co-workers ask that they should go quickly in secrecy, make them go carry out coronavirus test for themselves, by themselves. They should go and carry out. And then for me, because they are plotted with the particular coronavirus center, test center, on the 25th of September, I go to work after the expose that we saw on that same 25th. They decided to execute the agenda, get the owner of the store and the wife, attack me verbally, total hatred, compel me, drive me to. I had to be calm. I knew that they were going to kill themselves eventually. The owner of the store and the wife, they have operated a store in Washington, D.C. because of their bad heart and bad customer service attitude. The store collapsed. They operated another in Gettysburg and in Clarksburg. It collapsed, and they have come to establish this one. And as fellow Africans, I went there. When I got high there, I have decided, I know that it was time for him to make fortune, as the store is, as usual, every company that I work for, the FBI operates behind the scene. They recruit customer base of the store, and they dump stuff into the store, and they have to come collect. That is the way they pay the store. They cannot write a check of millions of dollars to the store owners in order to hide it. So they had to dump merchandise into the store, send their own agents to come collect them, to come buy them as though they have no head, buy them in boxes. Insane buying, So the store makes fortune as the store aid the U.S. government, the government of Nana Addo Akufo, and the global criminals to make up false evidence against you. So, like I was saying, after they attacked me that day, 25th of September, they compelled me, took me to the coronavirus testing center. They have it was from Gettysburg. They have plotted with them the center in Germantown. They drove me to Germantown. Calm. I had to let the world know that this is a crime that has been committed while they were compelling me to sign, give my consent. I had to sign on the paper as duress. They were asking for my email, demanding that they would email the results into my email account. I had to give them. They were telling me initially that everything is on the spot. They made the wife, the husband of the owner of the store who drove me down. Everything will be on the spot, so they'll give me the results as we go there. In order for me to let the world know that crimes, heinous crimes, are being committed, I had to sign on the paper as duress that it's against my will that the crime is being committed. They asked for my email. I put the Otan hatred at yahoo.com. But later they had to compel me, claiming that it's a must that they will have to send the results into my email account. So I had to use an email account, which I use in communicating with the United Nations International Criminals Court, the ICC, the US Justice Department as well. So that email address, I had to issue it out to them. Eventually, I had to continue exposing that medical terrorism of seeking to establish that false coronavirus positive results against me to get me quarantined in America from international travel. To the United Nations, I kept exposing them to the United Nations, International Criminals Court, the African Union. There are records to prove this. The United Nations knows this. International Criminals Court, the Office of the Chairperson of the African Union. I cannot be dumping documents here, so let's understand. So the Trump administration, while this was going on, this battle, I was contending with them, international authorities, to stop them from committing that medical terrorism. What they did was, eventually, they decided that on Sunday, October 4th, they had to eventually come out with, change their mind and come out with the true report of my coronavirus status and come out with not detected. In other words, coronavirus negative. If you see, these are personal records, personal information. These are medical records. I cannot show you all the personal information on the document, but you can see my name or say Sakodi down there. On the day of the debate, so this document was eventually released because at the same time they were colluding with the owner of the store and the wife to demand a report from me. They were so much confident that they would succeed in their crime, but eventually they failed. On October the 4th, while they were battling themselves as to whether they should come out with coronavirus positive against me or not, they realized that there's no way such medical terrorism is going to succeed. On last week, Friday, which has become the heated moment of it, Trump had no choice than to divert the attention of the American people, humanity and the nations of the world from this medical terrorism which they are getting exposed at the United Nations and International Criminals Court by declaring himself as having contracted coronavirus. He sent himself to the Walter Reed. He didn't send himself to the John Hopkins coronavirus data collection center. He should have gone to John Hopkins. So he fiasco. They have to, with the FBI, they have to willfully. Don't be surprised as to how criminally the FBI have behaved. The Montgomery County Uniform Police, they are allowing terrorists to operate in their nation for years to get foreign nationals killed because the killing is not Americans. It's okay. They did that and let 9/11 eventually America suffered that they are engaging in such stupidity one more time. You understand? Having taken the minds of Indians, Pakistanis, uh, Bangladesh, to aid them for years to get innocent Afghans, Pakistanis, and Iraqis killed for nothing. So don't be surprised as to how the FBI is engaging in such willful criminality and crimes against their constitution and everything that is called law. So they made Trump orchestrate to divert the attention of the American people, the media, from the crimes that are exposed at the United Nations and International Criminals Court by declaring himself coronavirus positive. Got himself at the Walter Reed, which eventually became his campaign center, which is openly campaigning at the hospital. The world saw it. Okay. Which should tell us that it's a total. Let's understand that one of my coded names by the U.S. intelligence community has been for years. The American people have told them it is Putin. It is China. One other is under the Trump administration. It has always been. Obama's administration has been Obama, and it has also been Mahama. But once a while they had to play. When I was in Ghana, it became Martin Amidou. Once a while they use Akufo Addo. There are others that you know about Akufo and Jesus. Okay, so but when I returned between the month of March of 2020 till now, the coded name that the Trump administration have used so much has been Iran. So there are many things that have been said about Iran. It has nothing like so much tension. It has nothing to do with the nation Iran. They were playing the world. Not that Iran was being any problem. They were talking over the heads of humanity. Yeah. So Trump has also been one of my coded names since I returned from Ghana. Between March, they have used it a lot to play the world. So in reference to their agenda to make a false coronavirus report against me, we heard how quickly they had to orchestrate to claim that Trump has coronavirus, sending to Walter Reed, which became his campaign center. And we saw on Sunday, the 4th of October, when they have sent this report to me. Trump declared himself he's coming back to the White House on Monday. We saw it, and on Monday he has been at the White House. Today, I had to be at the White House to expose to the American people to understand that they are just being played by the government of Ghana, Nana Addo Akufo Addo, and the Trump administration. And when I was going to the White House, for years, each time I get on the train, what the Metro Transit Center have been doing is they rob me willfully. I load money on my card, and you swipe your card at the before you get on the train. Wherever end point that you are coming, the city where you are getting off, like get to like from I leave Germantown to Maryland to DC. So if I get to DC, I swipe it and they take the amount of money, the fare from it. But they have always, as part of their defining strategy, charging me, robbing me of my money from the card. But today, God got them. When they have robbed me of the money, I went to the metro officer at the booth, and I had to, he had to confirm that, yeah, you know, that you have been overcharged, and you had to let me check in the system. He detected it. You had to go let me check in one of the machines that we have was demanding I should add more money to my card. I added it. He checked. He saw that yes, I've been robbed. He took me outside, made me exit. There are main machines out there where before you get into the train station, you have to if you want to load your card, you load. It took me out and we checked, saw that I had been robbed. In the process, it took quite a while. And the Trump administration, in the process, he had to. This is the writing of the metro officer, which was trying to get me my money back. Showed me what I would do to get the money back. In the process, I have left the rod of Moses at the. In the process, I've left it at the metro station while the man was trying to, the officer was trying to help me. So the FBI, who have been making the crime record, getting me robbed through the metro system, they have tracked me from Maryland to DC. So they needed to get the rod stolen. So they had to quickly, when I had been to the White House for the address, they had to switch. After the address, I started the address around 12 noon, and today it took a little bit of time, over 30 minutes. So by 1:45, I was leaving the 1:50 there. I was leaving the White House back to Germantown, Maryland. Under 10 minutes of me leaving the White House, after my address, I had exposed to two Secret Service, a lady, Secret Service person, a lady, and a male staff. Showed them the evidence of what Donald Trump and his administration, and Addo administration, the false coronavirus report they wanted to establish against me, for which reason Donald Trump has decided to declare the coronavirus positive. I exposed that. Within 10 minutes of me leaving the White House, they have to make cover up their shame by getting my rod stolen. The rod stolen. Locked down the White House immediately at 1 p.m. I left the White House at around 12:50 p.m. Within 10 minutes, they locked down the White House that everybody should leave. Nobody should can be in the garden, and they drove everybody out. And then they stole my rod. I had also, as part of the expose, I've exposed how between March and when I came down from Ghana, the stock market was being robbed indiscriminately. So by that, it stirred up some joy at the stock market, and the stock market was responding positively. When I realized the rod had been stolen, I didn't go back to confront the Metro Transit Center. Going back to confront them would have gotten them exposed. The stock market today, the Dow Jones had ended in positive 191 points, which is so much over 100 is like over almost 400 points. So going back to confront, to expose them, they would have known that it could have what could have happened was to have they will use that opportunity. The stock market would have fallen suddenly, and investors would have been robbed within the shortest period of time of their money. So I had to strategically wait to the end, the close of the stock market, that the stability that people are making money, they are gaining so much today. It will continue, because sometimes it could be just a statement from me. It really affects. Going back to confront them to get them exposed would have created some panic and a shame, and it would affect. So I didn't go. I waited till the close of the stock market, and around 6 p.m. I went to the White House and tried to get my rod back. What had been done is, the moment I left the White House, they had orchestrated, removed the officer, the Metro Transit officer from the station, brought another officer, not to take over from him. They made sure that he departed from duty. And some hours later, they brought another man. Why? Because they didn't want him to hand over. Because you have taken the role. If you are leaving job, you have to hand over to the next person. It's not your property. Hand over to the next person so that if the person comes, so they had to leave a gap and let another person come, just in case if I had returned on my way to Germantown, Maryland, to confront. By the time I get there, the officer would not be there. A new person is there. A new person. Well, this evening when I went, he was claiming nothing was that was left for him. You understand? So, humanity and the nations of the world. Aquaba to the program testimony. The world disorder. America should understand. Humanity and the nations of the world should understand that we have been scammed. The World Health Organization boss, he has been very dangerous to humanity and the nations of the world due to hatred for me with the government of Nana Addo Akufo Addo. The evil and the harm has been done. Global order must be followed. If you resist, you could die, they could kill you for it. The president of Burundi, Pierre Nkurunziza, was killed in secrecy. Afterwards, they had to brand him coronavirus positive to further their agenda. Europe is complying, Asia is complying, the nations of the world, China, Russia, they are all complying because global order must be complied. It must be heeded to. Otherwise, you are flouting international law. You understand? So let's not panic. Let's be still. Let's continue demanding accountability of Trump and his administration, Nana Addo Akufo Addo and his administration. Let's demand accountability in what is being done to humanity and the nations of the world. We will not lie. We will not allow them to take our freedom from us forever. We will not allow them to continue oppressing, suppressing us, willful covering up of the killing of innocent Ghanaians, crimes against Ghana and humanity, covering up to no avail. Medical terrorism, seeking to murder me in America. We will not allow them. Humanity has had enough of this willful intent to wreck the world by global wicked forces. Aquaba to the program, testimony, new world disorder. America and the nations of the world. The lockdown of the White House today is to the shame of Trump and his administration, the FBI, Montgomery County Police, and the terror network of Nana Addo Akufo Addo. Humanity and the nations of the world have prevailed. Let's go to what to do that we receive a bit more. God bless you, and God bless my homeland, Ghana. It is well.